Tim Green, and I'm a gunsmith. The name of my shop is Gunworks in Harrington, down East Maine. Today's handgun we're going to talk about today and disassemble and clean is the 1911 pistol. This is a John Browning design that was adopted by the U.S. military. It's 45 ACP caliber. Let's take this pistol to the bench. 1911 45 automatic pistol, like I mentioned earlier, is a John Browning design that was adopted by the U.S. military. These guns are still in production by quite a few different companies today. It's recoil operated. It's one of the longest production handguns probably in the world that's still under current production. As with anything else that you're going to disassemble for cleaning, you always want to make sure that you remove the magazine, open up the pistol, and take a look inside, make sure there's nothing in the chamber, and we'll start taking it apart for cleaning. Now this pistol here has a few extra parts in it that we're going to have to deal with that most of them don't have in them. So what we'll do is we'll lock the slide back to the rear, and you'll notice a little guide rod. In this case, it's a two-piece guide rod. So to start the disassembly, we'll just turn this threaded guide rod and remove it. Set it off to the side. Now, you'll notice right here, let me get a piece. You'll notice right here there's a little half moon cut out right behind where the slide stop locks the slide to the rear. So what you'll do is you'll cock your slide about halfway back until you line that up with the rear part of the slide stop, and then just punch the little slide stop pin out, and then remove the slide by pulling forward on it. Now keep in mind that there's a recoil spring in here, and you don't want that spring to fly out and hit you. So just keep your hand over it, separate the frame from the slide. Now there's another way you can do this, and I've seen other people, what they want to do is push it on the reverse plug and turn that and let that out the top. I don't like to do that because I've hit myself in the face a couple times with that thing. So next part is the barrel bushing here. You'll rotate that out and then dump your plug out the front. Set all these pieces off to the side here. Then remove your barrel bushing. Push the little link down and slide the barrel out the front. Remove the barrel and set it off to the side to be cleaned. To get the rest of the slide disassembled, you'll notice back here you see your firing pin in the middle of this little retaining plate. You just take something and push your firing pin in, and you'll slide that little plate down. Keeping your finger over the hole where the firing pin is when you remove that plate, so your firing pin spring doesn't pop the firing pin out and hit you in the face with it. But here's your little firing pin retainer. And then your spring for the firing pin and the firing pin itself. We'll set those off to the side as well. Last part inside the slide is your extractor. You just simply lift the extractor up and pull it out. Now here's your top end of the gun, slide and everything disassembled for cleaning. Okay, moving on to the lower part of the gun, you'll have some grip screws right here. Okay, we'll remove these grip screws. Pull the grip panel off the side. Turn it over and do the same thing with the other grip. Okay, now at this point here, you push it on your grip safety and relieve all the pressure off your hammer. Now here's an extra part that you don't normally have. This is a little magazine well bevel. In this case, it just sits right under the grip screws. You can just pop that off and set it off to the side too. Next part you might want to take out, there's a little retainer pin right here that holds the mainspring housing in the back of the frame. So what I like to do is take this part out next. little pin punch, tap that right out. Just slide that down and out of the way. And your mainspring is inside here. You can see the top little cap. This is what puts spring pressure on your hammer strut, and this is what drops the hammer and causes the gun to fire. At this point here, you'll cock the hammer about part way back and raise the safety. Now, what you'll do is push on the opposite side over here, because this is a little bit tricky to get this to come out. I'll show you why. Because the back side of your safety has a little notch, and you have to get this thing lined up just right to be able to pull that out. So once you have your safety out, then you can remove your grip safety. And you got these little plungers and plunger spring right here. If you don't get those out now, you might later on, while you're handling the frame, you might drop those out and lose them, because they're pretty small parts. Set those off to the side so we don't lose them. The next part you want to remove for cleaning, flip your little hammer strut up, and you have a flat spring in the back. You can remove that. Turning the gun over, you'll notice there's a little pin that retains the hammer inside the frame. You just simply push that out to the side and remove your hammer. Alright, the next part you'll take out is going to be the disconnector in the sear assembly. So you just push that pin out to the side. And when you go to remove this, you want to pay particular attention to how these two parts set together. You can turn it up and dump it out, but you'll need to know how these go back inside here. Now here's your sear and your disconnector. When you go to reassemble this thing, if you can see, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but you see a little flat spot on the back here and a little T-shape with a small ramp here in the front. This is the way the disconnector will go back inside the gun, and your sear will sit right on top of it like that. We'll set these off to the side to be cleaned as well. Now the last part to take out of the gun for cleaning is going to be your trigger. And the way you get your trigger out is your magazine release is what retains the trigger inside the frame. So you'll see a little screw, okay? You push in on that and turn that screw about a quarter turn until it locks, then you can remove it. Once your magazine release is removed, then your trigger just slides out the back of the frame. And here's your 1911 completely stripped down to be cleaned. Like I said earlier, these videos are for cleaning, to keep your firearm up and running. They're not designed to teach you to be a gunsmith. I don't recommend you do anything else to the gun other than just this. And these are all your parts for your 1911, completely laid out in the order they came apart to be cleaned. Thank you for watching this latest Gunworks video. Down East Gunworks is a full-service firearm repair service for all your long guns and handguns that includes a high-tech machine shop for tooling obsolete parts. Old or new, if you have a firearm that needs attention, Gunworks can probably fix it, solve it, coat it, and make it work. If you're living in Down East Maine, come by the shop for a visit. We're located on Route 1 in Harrington. If you live elsewhere, you can reach us by going to the website www.downeastgunworks.com or call in the shop at area code 207-483-2175. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please leave me a comment and rate the video. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll always know when I've posted something new. And thanks again for watching.